as you mentioned before, you weren't hanging out until 2 in the morning. You weren't doing that this and that with the other comics. Did you find it a little bit more taxing or difficult as a woman who's well established in her life and who's a person of color? Did you ever see any kind of adversity from your angle?
Well, I never felt an adversity from other comics for
Okay.
sure. There was definitely a huge imbalance in the landscape of women being on a bill. Like most clubs would have one woman.
Hmm.
And so you were always competing for that spot. But the women comics who came before me were so vocal about saying, what is this? What is this? That I kind of rode that wave with them. By the time I showed up, I was like, everyone was looking out to see why there wasn't more than one woman, you know? And in terms of being brown, I think a couple of different things were going on. One is it made me a novelty slightly because there was even fewer brown women comics.
Right.
There's a very famous comedian here, Shazia Mirza, who had come before me and was very famous and is very famous, I should say. A lot of people, when I'd walk into a gig, they'd be like, Shazia, why are you at this open mic? I'm like, genuinely, we're two different people. What? But she has a great nose, so I always assumed it was. So I always took it as a compliment. There was Gina Yashare, who's obviously black, but
Yeah.
there were other women who were not white, but they were so far ahead of me that I didn't see myself as being in their league, but I saw from what they had done that it was possible.
Hmm.
So there was all of that. The other thing is that, and I've talked about this quite a lot now, is that I'm not born and raised in the West. I'm born and raised in India.
Right.
So I did not grow up feeling like a minority. So I didn't bring that lens. You see what I mean? I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm not from here. And that meant that even if people were trying to make me feel bad, it kind of pinged off me. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
You couldn't say to me, well, you're not from here. I'd be like, yeah. They'd be like, oh, do you know what I mean? So I think for me, the being a woman kind of felt it was more visceral.
Hmm.
Being a brown woman I was like, oh, there's fewer of us. But I had never wanted to be like other British people because I'm not from here. Do you know what I mean? Does
Right.
that make sense?